Hey guys, this is Franky, and welcome to Detention. I know it's been a while, but I'm back, and hopefully we get everything on track. Like I said in Smooth's last podcast, Kyle Rittenhouse, you might have avoided jail, but you landed yourself in detention. Now, I'm going to start this off. I'm not going to say if he should have been convicted, if he should not have been convicted, because that is not my place. I have my opinions on that, and we went over that already. But this is about Kyle Rittenhouse being a dumbass. Now, and you're lucky there's no laws about being a dumbass. Now, you have these intentional homicide charges and everything, and you got lucky that the DA went for the gusto, and you're lucky the judge helped you out. But if you have to go somewhere and you're going to be outside and you feel like you need a weapon to defend yourself, maybe you should not have gone there. And that's being a dumbass 101. And there is no excuse for that. So even though you did not intend to go out there, or you say you did not intend to go out there to murder people, it is actually your fault that they are dead, and you have contributed to it by being a dumbass. Because yes, you drove 20 miles away from your home. You knew you weren't supposed to have a gun, and you got in a gun to supposedly defend yourself. But if you did not go out there that night, you would not have had to use lethal force to defend yourself. And that is why you are a dumbass, and that is why you're in detention. And this might be the shortest detention. I'm going to go on, because it's this point A to B. If I feel like I have to go somewhere and I need a weapon, guess what? I am probably not going to go there unless it's really, really important. And guess what? This was not important at all, because you did not need to be out there as a 17-year-old minor. And guess what? You were not supposed to have a weapon. So that was dumbassery number 2. Dumbassery number 3 was, hey, guess what? The first conflict that you got into and you realized it was going to go south, you should have took your ass home. That was a dumbass trifecta. That's what we got. So 1, shouldn't have gone out there. 2, should not have had a gun. 3, after the first conflict, you should have took your ass home. You're out there trying to be a vigilante, and I know it's cool because of all these TV shows, and maybe you could even say the comic books and manga or anime or whatever you want to say, or even the movies, but that's not what you are, and your actions have dire consequences. And now you're upset that people are defaming you and using you as an example, and maybe guess what? They do not understand. And there's people, the jury acquitted you, and they agreed and said, hey, because you're saying this trial was about self-defense. And the jury agreed with you, and they said that you had the right to defend yourself. It does not excuse your actions of going out there and causing this controversy. And that is why you are a freaking dumbass. And that is why I'm talking about you right now. So do not be upset that now your life has changed for freaking ever. Do not be upset that before you wanted to take college classes on campus, but now you're not able to, and you're thinking about moving out of the Midwest so you can lay low and live your life. That is the effect that you had when you chose to go out there and try to make adult decisions when you were clearly not ready for the consequences of your actions. And that's what it comes down to. People are mad at you because guess what? Your actions have consequences. And these are the consequences that, have wrought. You are a household name. And people are not calling you racist because guess what? Everybody knows you shot white men or men not of color. The reason why race is brought up into it and you're trying to change the narrative, which shame on you, so that's dumbassery number 3, is they are saying if you're an African-American male or Hispanic, that you would have been actually stopped by the police, you might have been shot, and you would have been in jail. And that is why people are bringing race into this. They're not bringing race into this saying that you're racist. And then, and I guess you were hanging out with some people in a race group that they could be considered racist. If you were hanging out with people like that, then guess what? The context of your character is coming into question. And that's, again, what you chose to do because you broke the law And even though you think it's for a noble cause, you still broke the law. Once you break the law and something that you should not be doing, everything else is being called into question. So now you cannot pretend to be victimized and be upset that that you think people are slandering you. And they're asking questions. So they say, if you're hanging out with a racist group, does that make you racist? And some of these questions are valid and they're saying, if you're an African American male, if you're a Latino male, and this happened, would self-defense even be considered? Would the cops, let you walk by? Would you even have a trial like this? Would the verdict be the same? These are questions that are allowed to be asked, and you cannot pretend to be a victim because the chain of events started with you. And you could say, oh, the chain of events started with the police shooting. No, your chain of events started with you because you drove 20 miles away from your home to go with a group of people to go defend property. That I am sorry. If you needed a weapon to go defend property, that is on you. And people are reacting, one, because you're opposing them, and two, because you have a weapon. So, Kyle, Mr. Rittenhouse, whatever the hell we want to call you, I hope that you mean what you say when you're remorseful for your actions and that you would not do it again. Hopefully by not doing it again, it means you would keep your happy ass at home. I hope you learn from this, and I hope you spread the gospel out for other people. And say, hey, I'm not going to be a dumbass. I'm going to keep my happy ass home. I'm going to let the actual law officials take care of this. So then my life isn't changed. My family's life isn't changed. Now we're not all under a microscope, and now you're tearing a nation apart because you knew everything that was happening. And maybe that's the thing. You were a 17-year-old kid, so you shouldn't have been out there. So guess what? You shouldn't have been out there. If you couldn't get a gun, guess what? You shouldn't have had a gun. So if you want to make big boy decisions and pretend to be an adult, you need to take big boy consequences. And yes, you're found not a murderer. But guess what? You have to wear that now. You have to wear that because that's the actions that you cause. And these are the consequences of your actions. So thank the DA. Thank the judge because they threw out charges that you should have been hit with. The judge threw out charges you should have been hit with, and the DA was overzealous and turned it into your intent. And that's all I have. So thank you guys. Thanks for coming to this episode of Detention. I hope to see you guys really soon, and I'll see you next time.